Since last year, we have not yet received everything that Apple has promised us. So this year, they better go all out. And I think that's exactly what we might be getting. Hey guys, welcome back. I am Danny, your friendly tech amigo. WWDC is less than a week away, and we are expected to get a completely new redesign. Every OS expected is to be redesigned. I'm talking iOS, iPadOS, macOS, tvOS, Apple watchOS or watchOS, and we might even get Vision OS, but I think only a couple 100,000 people have that. So have you tried out the new Siri features? Of course not. No one has. I don't even think Apple's own software development team has tried them out to an extent. With Google and OpenAI being way ahead of the competition, Apple looks like it's kind of throwing in the towel, since there are rumors that there might be not only ChatGPT available, but also Google Gemini with the new software update later on this year. But let's step back a bit. Not only has Apple been struggling to get their AI out the door, but there are leaks by none other than Mark Gurman that Apple is planning a complete new redesign and changing the name of the entire operating system from a number to an actual year. Kind of like how the automotive industry does it. Or yes, this is another let's copy Samsung move. But personally, I kind of like this, since this will be a lot easier to remember when the software was released, because it literally will be on the name itself. So the entire OS lineup will be, for example, iOS 26, since it will be out in late 25 but will be available all year in 2026, same as car manufacturers. So we will have iOS 26, macOS 26, iPadOS 26, watchOS 26, tvOS 26, but will we get visionOS 26, or will that just be visionOS 3? It sounds like they're doing 26 all across the entire board. Let's start off with iOS 26. About a month ago, YouTuber John Prosser released a couple of videos leaking on how the new software was gonna look, and it looks like Vision OS with rounded icons and a bit of transparency to them as well. A few weeks ago, Mark Gurman claimed that this will be the biggest iOS redesign since iOS 7. And with all that was promised last year and it's still not here, they better go all out. I really want at least some multitasking added, so I can have two apps open at the same time, and maybe better controls of the volume, so it's just not one controls them all, you know what I mean? And of course, better AI to fix up those photos. The new design is nice and all, but I want more than just looks. I want more functions, and Apple to really take advantage of the hardware that's going to be packed in. A new Apple Intelligence feature that will be added is a battery management option, which will help you reduce the use of power consumption from apps and other system features. So that's pretty cool. Don't get me wrong, better battery life is always great, and I have the iPhone 16e. I can easily go about a day and a half on a 95% charge. As far as iPadOS, we are to get more of like a MacBook feeling with better multitasking ability, basically a better stage manager. I started using this like a while back and I kind of like it, but I would enjoy it a little more if I had the 13-inch rather than the 11-inch iPad that I currently have. Also, when connected to a Magic Keyboard, a Mac OS menu bar will come up at the top, so it feels more like a Mac. But personally, I don't want my iPad to be more like a Mac. I want this to be more of an iPad. Throw in some more Apple Pencil features and have us use it more, or have more apps designed for iPadOS. Now, macOS is also to get the same Vision OS redesign with rounded transparency icons. This will be cool, sure, but the biggest is that we might get a dedicated video game app for all OS this year. While Apple does have the software to run and play at a decent frame rate as well as decent graphics, this is just somewhere that Apple lacks. Could it be that they simply don't care about gaming on a Mac? Nah, I don't think it's that, but rather that they... Oh, what the fuck am I saying? I think Apple does care about gaming. I mean, they do have some things as useless as the Apple Arcade. That's for my 6-year-old. But maybe they need to get with someone like Sony or Activision or Microsoft and say, hey, I'm Apple. And just from my iPhone lineup, I have sold around 2.6 billion iPhones since 2007, which is an average of 144 million units over the past 18 years. So, do you want to put your games on my platform? Damn, thinking about it, no wonder why Epic Games went so hard in the courtroom with Apple.